Hello again, thanks for tuning in. This week's stillwater pattern, I'm going to tie a variation on the ever popular cruncher fly. In the vise is a Hanak 270 barbless hook. It's a medium wire and it's black nickel. The thread I'm going to use today is the Vivus GSP, it's 50 denier and it's the clear thread. Now first thing is to wax up the thread. And let's get a few wraps on. So starting 1 or 2 millimeters back from the eye of the hook, I'm just going to come using my rat's tail to bed my first layer of thread down. And I'm just trying to get my thread to the pronounced bump or the barb if you happen to be using a barbed hook, and then I can take that away. For the tail of this fly, I'm going to use an Indian cock cape. This one's particularly nice. It's got barbed feathers and makes lovely tails. And that one comes from Funky Fly Tying. And you can see the price there. They're cheap as chips, and they'll serve you for many years to come. So I'll just grab the feather. Actually, I'll put the cape back. And take one of the big feathers from the top end, and I want to get the ones right up near the tip of the feather because they're the ones that are the most coloured. And I'll take a little pinch, getting rid of what I don't want, and then catching in. Now for the length, I want it to be about 3/4 of the length of the shank of the hook, and the more you tie, the more you'll soon realise where it should sit in your fingers and stuff. But as you're sort of beginning, it just takes a bit of time to find that. Now the excess I've got coming over the front here, I can snip away and just check my threads where my bump is. I'm going to come one more turn over, and then I'm going to come round the back of the bend and bring my thread up the shank, and that just splays your tail feathers out, which is quite pleasing. Now I'm going to tie the ribbon. Today I'm going to use silver. It's the Vineyards number 27, really bright silver rib. I really like it on river flies actually, but we're going to use it on this stillwater pattern today. And I'm going to put my ribbon the length of the shank. Now I'm going to tie it in on my side, but I'll just show you that's how much I'm going to put in. I'm going to catch that in and run it up. Now doing this the length of the body just helps to keep your fly body even. And the body material itself, we're going to use our old friend the pheasant tail. They do take a bit of pummeling, the old pheasants. No wonder so many of them get shot. Take it, and if you take it off at a 90-degree angle, it will bring the tips to a pretty much even state of play. Catch your first wrap in gently, and then you can adjust how much of the tail you want, and then trap the remaining fibres in and bring it all the way back up to the top here. Now I've got an erroneous little fibre. I'm just going to try and get that out of my way. Now the next thing to do is, if you've got nice long fibres like I have here, you can use your fingers. If you're struggling away with a shorter feather, you can bring your hackle pliers in and use them. But because this is a nice long fibre that I've got here, I'm able to just wrap it up with my fingers. And I'm going to come all the way up the body till I've got about 4 or 5 millimeters from the eye of the hook. I'm going to trap them fibres in, 3 or 4 turns, then come forward a bit more, a few wraps in front, then I can come in and take away my excess fibres. Okay, as I brought them feathers away from myself, the rib I'm going to bring towards myself. The pheasant tail fibre, as I've mentioned in the past, is quite delicate, so it needs this rib for, as well as a bit of bling on it, a bit of protection for the pheasant tail fibres. And once I've brought that up past my thorax, I can be less worried about getting my turns even, and all I want to do is secure it in place. Once I've done that, keeping tension on my thread, I can twist away my wire rib. Okay, next. Now traditionally, a cruncher would have a peacock thorax before the winging coming in. But what I'm going to do today is use some microstraggle frits. This is on the card. I'm sorry I don't have the packet anymore, and my best guess is that this came from Dave Downey. Microstraggle, I don't know how well you can see it in the camera there, but it's got UV fibres running through the orange. It's really bright. You don't need much of it. So I've taken a little bit off, and I'm going to catch that just in at my thorax there. Now, I'm not bringing my thread right to the eye of the hook. I'm back about a millimetre because there's still quite a bit of business to do at that end. So I'm going to bring my little microstraggle, sweeping back the fibres, and I've managed to get 4 turns in there, which is plenty. Bring it up your side of the hook, and I'm just going to catch that in now. Then I can snip that away. Just a little bit there, sorry, excuse my fingers, but I'm just getting rid of my little bit of straggle. Sweep everything back, have a little tidy up at the front, and that's looking pretty good so far. Let's see what you're seeing. Yep, not bad. Okay, next I'm going to use a feather from this cape. Again, it's a hen cape, soft hackle, and this one's got lovely dark on the inside and a little ginger on the outside of the feather. I've already selected one, and I have cleaned away the waste at the bottom and left myself just shy of 1/8 of an inch stock. Now the feather, if I hold it like this, you can see it bends over. I want it all sweeping back on this fly. So first thing I'm going to do before anything else is put a little bit of wax, and this just gives you that little bit of grip when you're bringing your stock in. So I can dress it up now and catch that in. I'm going to just put an half hitch in, like so. Then I can bring that down and out the way. So next we need to get our hackle pliers, grab the tip of the feather and give it 1, 2 wraps, and that is sufficient for this fly. Now you can just agitate the fibres out with your fingers, and that saves you getting a big clump of feathers. Now I've still got quite a bit of wax on my thread, which is good, because I now want to trap in that hackle. I'm going to come round once, twice, sweep everything back, third and final time. And it's already gone by itself, but I would have at that point pulled my feather away from my fly. Next, I'm going to lick my thumb and forefinger of my left hand, sweep everything back, and start to build my head, but I'm not going to finish it just yet. So I've started to build my head. Now there's something I failed to mention actually there. When I was winding the hackle on, I brought it right to the eye, right to the very edge. Some people will tell you you don't want to do that because you need to save room to build your head. But the reason I did that is when I start to build the head, I don't know if you noticed, but the hackle then all slicks back and it just sits nice. And that's why I've done that. It's not a mistake on my part. It was intentional. Okay, to finish this fly off, if I'd started tying with a black thread such as the Vivas, or I had a black thread, or the orange even, or I had a nice bright orange head. But for this fly, I really like using the GSP because I can decide if I want it black, I just use a black marker. On this occasion, I'm going to use red or ruby. That's the posh name for red. So, in with my Pro Marker pen. I believe Sharpies do the same job. I think any felt tip would work a treat. It's just my daughter does a lot of art and she's got loads of these and I stole some. Don't tell her. And I'm just going to now start getting that colour onto the fly, like so. Got some erroneous fibres there, just try to get rid of. Now, to finish off then, I'm going to bring in some UV resin. Again, make sure everything's swept back, and by adding the UV resin to your thread like that, you don't need to worry about neatness. Just going to catch a half hitch in. I failed to do it that time. And tighten that up. I know it's just come away itself. It happens quite a bit, that doesn't worry me because it's in place now, and then I can cure off my head. In fact, sometimes it's of benefit when it snaps away like that, because when you cut it, there's often a couple of little fibres and you notice this when you take photographs, macro photographs of your flies, the little imperfections that you get of the device. I'm sure it's absolutely of no consequence to the trout, but you know, from a time perspective, it's always nice to try and get it right. So that's had long enough, and there we have a little variation on the cruncher. I'll just lick my thumb and forefinger, and that's your finished fly. Thanks very much for watching, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.